Cop bursts out laughing at a black kid who claims his dad's in special forces until dad shows up. You expect me to buy that story, kid? Really? The cop barked out a laugh. One of those cold, dismissive ones, the kind that punches straight through your pride. He towered over Jamal, his hand clamped tightly around the boy's wrist like he was already guilty of something. The red and blue lights from the patrol car sliced through the quiet evening, casting long, trembling shadows across the otherwise calm suburban street. You could feel the tension twisting in the air. Behind curtains, neighbors peeked out cautiously, some just barely lifting the blinds. Whispers danced between the walls of nearby homes, but the rumble of the police engines swallowed every one of them. Still, Jamal didn't flinch. He stood tall for a kid, eyes steady, chin lifted with defiance. My dad's in the special forces, he said, his voice even but firm. He'll be here any second. The officer scoffed, lips curled into a crooked grin. Oh yeah? Sure he is. He didn't believe a word, and he wanted Jamal to know it. But what he didn't see coming, not in his wildest assumptions, was that his laugh wouldn't last long. His grip would vanish, because the man he was mocking was about to step out of the darkness. Jamal had been here before. Maybe not like this, not this loud, this obvious, but the tone, the attitude? Oh yeah, he'd heard it all before. You don't belong here. Where'd you swipe that bike from? Always assuming, always judging. And the worst part? He was just heading home. He had just finished a sweaty evening of basketball practice, ball tucked under his arm, when the flashing lights found him. Accused of matching some description. Some suspect. Same story, different day. Jamal knew the routine.
Breathe.
Stay still.
Keep calm.
Answer questions. Don't move too fast. Don't look too proud. Don't give them a reason, any reason. But something shifted the moment the officer mocked his father. Something inside Jamal cracked. His dad wasn't just some guy in uniform. He wasn't just a soldier. No, he was a shadow in motion, the kind of man who operated in silence, until the moment he didn't have to. The officer's radio buzzed as he reached for his handcuffs. Come on, kid. Let's take a little ride downtown. We'll clear this up there. Jamal's breath caught. He knew what that meant. And it never meant anything good. Then it happened.
Screech.
A black SUV came roaring around the corner, slamming to a stop right behind the patrol car. Tires screamed against the pavement. The cop spun around instinctively, his hand hovering close to his holster. The tension was instant, sharp enough to cut air. The SUV door flung open, and boots hit the ground with force. Not rushed. Not panicked. Deliberate. A man stepped out.
Tall.
Unmoving. Posture like steel. His eyes locked onto the scene like he'd already sized it up. Jamal's chest rose with relief. Dad. The cop blinked. He tried to maintain control. Sir, this is police business. But the man didn't flinch.
No.
Your business is harassing my son. His voice didn't rise, it didn't have to. It was steady. It was heavy, like thunder before a storm. Another officer approached, clearly catching the change in energy. We had a report, he said quickly. Stolen bike. The kid matched the description. Jamal's father just stared at them. Description, he repeated coldly. Then, without breaking eye contact, he reached into his jacket and pulled out his military ID. "Wanna run mine too?" he asked, raising the badge slowly. The glint from the lights hit the insignia. The rank. The silence afterward was chilling. The first cop paled. His confidence drained like water down a sink. For a split second, no one spoke. The street was silent, almost respectfully so. Then the cop stammered, "Look, we were just what?" Jamal's dad stepped forward. His voice sliced through the excuses. "Teaching my son a lesson? About how the world still sees him." Jamal's fists clenched at his sides. His heart was pounding. He hated this feeling, the tight stares, the way people looked at them like they didn't belong. And he could see it, the way his dad's jaw locked. The fury held back like a flood behind a dam. The cop raised his hands just a little. "There's no reason to escalate this." "You're absolutely right," Jamal's dad said, his voice like ice. So take off the cuffs.
Now.
One long beat. Then the cop obeyed. Fingers stiff. Movements awkward. The patrol car eased away a few minutes later. The lights dimmed. The noise faded. And Jamal finally let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. His dad placed a hand gently on his back. "You all right?" Jamal nodded, his voice low. "Why is it always like this?" His dad didn't speak right away. He looked up at the stars, then down at his son. "Because some people," he said quietly, "won't show you respect until you prove you deserve it. But you don't owe them anything." They walked home under flickering streetlights, their shadows long behind them. The echo of what had happened lingered, but something had changed. For the first time, Jamal understood, really understood, that his father's power wasn't just in his rank or badge. It was in the way he stood.
Tall. Calm.
Unshaken. If this story hit you in the heart, smash that like button and drop a karma in the comments. Let's make sure stories like this are never ignored.